We're going to take a look at the windows. In this case, we'll look at the smaller windows to begin with and deal with the storefront windows later. We'll see these windows across the front are all the same size windows, and they're actually going to be the A window. We'll see it. And they all have the same height above the floor here. And that's actually specified. I think right here as 2 feet 4 inches above the floor. However, in order to make the window top come out exactly at the frieze board so that there's no brickwork or gap here between the frieze board and the top of the window. That calculation was made independently and provided to us. Turned out to be 17 and a half inches. 17 and a half inches to the top of the window from the top plate, which was 9 feet 1 inch. Well, if you do the math, you come out with a 90-inch jack there. And that's will be used for all of the A windows, regardless of whether it's in the shorter wall here or in the taller wall on the front. If we go back to the front here, you'll see these walls are actually a little taller here, but aesthetically, you want the window heights to be the same all the way across. So you set the same jack height. If we come on down to around the building, you come around, you'll see the sanctuary windows here. Let's go page down once more. And he's giving the same height above the floor. Oops, that's the wrong window here. I'll find it in a second. That's the same A window. Okay, here it is. So he has the same height above the floor, 2 feet 4 inches. And there's a certain minimum that you wouldn't go below. But in this taller wall, this is somewhat arbitrary in that the only place you can see both of these windows at the same time is at the side of the building. So a little harder to determine aesthetically, and it's not anywhere near the top. So we want to adhere to the design specs as much as possible unless they're overridden by other considerations. So we have some numbers here we can work with. We can use that 2 feet 4 inch, and this is B window, and it's 76.5 up in order to calculate the jack height. And the jack height for this window, that's what we need. If we come back to the program here, we're going to create a couple of window types here for this project. An A window, it's 38 and a half rough opening and 60 and a half rough opening height. And again, I pointed out before that if you go back to the plan itself, 803 here, let's go to 803. If we look at this in some detail here, it's not actually giving us the same width on both windows, which is a little misleading, but when you get the brochure for the particular I'll find it here shortly. The brochure for this window indicates that the rough opening is 38 and a half inches, and this would be the A window here, and 60 and a half tall in the B window. Was 76 and a half by 38 and a half. So the windows are the same width, and we'll be able to use the same header for all of those windows. And the only difference will be the top and bottom cripples because they're in longer or shorter walls. So if we take a look at the end result of this thing, here we've got an A window of a jack stud height of 90, which will set the top of the window, and a B window of 102.5 right there. If we look at the end result calculation here, the B window comes in with a jack of 102.5, and the bottom cripples came out to be 23 at that jack height, and the top cripples 44 3/8. We go back to the A window. In the shorter wall, bottom cripple is 26.5 inches. Again, the 90-inch jack set the height here, so the bottom cripple just comes out whatever it is based on the design specs here for the windows in this plant. So let's take a quick look at that. It's in the structural here. Here it is. Window would have a header. We have a specification here. If the window opening up to 3 feet, you just use a single jack. If it's over 3 feet, 1 inch, which this one is, it's 38, you get 2 jacks here. And so that's what we wound up with. And they're specifying 2 seals. And so this would be our general outline for any window in this plant. The only difference between it and the door is the door wouldn't have seals or bottom cripples, but the same rules apply. Over 3 feet, 2 jacks. And notice both have double kings. So in the end, this is what we wound up with in order to develop a cut plan and instruction for these A windows, B windows. Again, the header's the same, 3 2x8s, foam insulation system on the outside, and a 2x6 wall. We'll deal with the storefront windows in a different video.